scan, you gotta let that bar come across.
Just need one reliable staff member.
It's usually her, no? She's the one that
Yep,
has
that
all of
prep.
the lists.
Okay, now. Now you go back to recording.
Back to here.
Yeah, it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
there we go. We got it all set up.
Is there anything else you want me to help you with?
So much. Don't go.
Budget. Anything like that.
We got a whole list,
All right.
actually. So, present Steve. And Natalie, present via Zoom, Lise. And Brittany. Okay. Oh, the left is me. Look at us. Yep.
Don't use.
It didn't look weird when I did it, but it looked weird when you.
All right, moved by Renee, second by Lise, that the Recreation and Fitness Committee meeting be opened at 5:03 p.m. All in favor? Adoption of minutes. Feeling minutes on when? Here, we do this way. Moved by Renee and second by Lise that the minutes of the Recreation and Fitness Committee meeting held November 6, 2023 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Any presentations from the public? Hearing none.
I'm not the problem.
Reports. 5.1, Christmas in Bonfield, soup and chili, baking exchange and parade. So I wasn't here this year, I was in the States. But I heard that it went really well. I heard you guys had like 100 people for judging.
Yeah, about 100 people. A lot of chilies were submitted this year. We had 14 chilies and then the three soups.
Nice.
But they were all good.
And who won
For which one, Steve?
for any of them?
The beans.
Well, the beans, it was, I believe this gentleman over
Oh.
here that won for the beans.
And
Jason Corbett did not win. Councilor
but
Corbett
it
did.
won chili.
He won the
I heard.
chili.
I wasn't here again. And
Sounds
who didn't win?
It wasn't.
Well, the Councilor Clark got second in a number of categories.
So you would say did.
Yeah, I was, she became.
She got second in both.
Yes,
And fun
the
event?
most placing. Sorry,
Fun event.
really fun.
Yeah.
Everybody had a great
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Special thanks to Lise for running that kitchen and keeping us together. The
Anytime.
music was great.
Anytime.
He's just a great guy to have around for these kind of events. It's perfect.
My only comment to the music thing is, I think it needs to be lower.
Lowered,
Cause
okay,
it's too loud and people are there to talk and
Yeah.
okay.
it's just too loud.
Yep,
And this was the first year of the baking exchange.
the baking exchange, hopefully next year there's more participants,
Well, I
but
didn't even see any or hear anything
I think
about
it's
it.
because
It was
the
just
amount they
there.
have to make is like.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah.
so we could, yeah, adjust.
I think
the
like
cookies.
2 dozen, 3 dozen at most.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds.
Well, could you not just leave it open to any
Like a
dozen?
minimum
Drop
of
one
2
dozen, you
dozen?
take one dozen. If you
Yeah.
got 10 dozen, you take 10 dozen.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, you could do it like that way, but I agree, I think the amount was too much.
Okay.
But we did have some.
Yeah, there was a couple and then Sarah had made these key lime pie ones that
Yeah, I
were
heard
apparently
lemon drop
exploded on
cookies.
Facebook.
Yeah, I heard about.
And
that.
they are, they're
I
they're
didn't
so good.
How about 6 in bag instead of a dozen? And then it'll,
Yeah, we'll look at
Half
adjusting
a
the
dozen.
numbers for next year for sure.
Well, that's such an easy event now, like the groundwork has been laid on that. I've attended it, I think, 4 years in a row and usually enter it. So that one seems like a pretty easy
Yeah.
one for us to just keep running and
It was
not
really, it was
changing
really
a
good.
lot.
Yeah, and for the parade portion for next year, we'll rely on your expertise
I thought
for
it was awesome. though.
for getting just more participation though. Yeah.
So one of the things I think for both parades is we should try and contact some of the organizations in North Bay. Make sure that it's not on their parades, but things like high school bands and dance studios and stuff like that. I know before you wanted someone perform.
Yeah,
before.
I reached out to a lot of like high schoolers and dance studios and stuff. I thought just like a thriller dance or something would be
Right.
super cool,
Yeah.
but everybody was busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Volunteer hours are not as appealing as they used to be apparently, because I would have been all over that.
I wasn't even thinking more of volunteer hours, I was thinking more like directly to the school.
Yeah,
Like the big band in North Bay, I think is Scholar,
okay.
and they just did stuff in Toronto last weekend. But
Oh,
they're doing
really?
stuff
Okay.
almost every weekend in
That's
community
cool.
events. So I think like,
Maybe get to them earlier.
they've done
Yeah.
Italian games a couple
Yeah.
years in a row now.
Yeah,
You know,
Going
you show up
after
to events,
that.
you show up to 20 or 30 people.
that's what we need. We need like volume, like.
Yeah, and if you have these ideas throughout the year, send them to me. I will put them in and then we'll bring it up
Okay.
once when we start
I
planning
have a
it
whole
again.
list in my phone. You're gonna be so sick of
Love it.
And dance studios, I think, are usually looking
Mhm.
just for someone
Yeah.
to practice, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's it.
And it's also advertising.
for sure.
That's it. That's the reason that people participate in the parade is because it's advertising.
Right.
All the businesses, it's advertising, and it's like. It's a good look, like, sorry to say, it's like, oh, look at them volunteering their time to do something for the kids. That's so nice. Maybe next time I need my roof fixed, you
Yeah.
know, or whatever, like. So,
Who would you call for
probably nailed it,
that?
or like, yeah,
Okay.
they've been in my flyer for a few years in a row. I feel like I owe them that.
All right, so new business, 6.1, Louise Allard, has resigned from our board, unfortunately. I know she's super busy with work and with her personal life. I spoke to her today. She's hoping that eventually, her life will be a little bit simpler and she'll come back. She loved this community and put in a ton of work into this community. I think she'll still kind of give her 2 cents every once in a while and
I don't think she's out.
Right.
forever.
she
No.
just can't commit
Yeah,
to
The schedule.
the schedule, so it's unfortunate, hopefully we have her again in the future. But we obviously need to accept her resignation and look at, I guess, bringing somebody else in.
Okay, so then-
Moved by Dan, second by Renee, that the Recreation Fitness Committee recommends the council to accept Lisa Laird's resignation from the committee, and that a letter be sent thanking her for her services, and that advertising be placed on the website for members to sit on the committee. Feel like we just did this. All in favor?
I feel like she needs a gift basket too.
Sorry, I'm just jotting some notes down. Okay, so summer camp dates, so. When we first ran our first week of Bonfield Summer Camp, like 5 years ago, there was momentum of our second session. And we got to ran from COVID, and last year we ran one and it was successful, or actually, sorry, 2 years ago, we ran one successful. Ran one last year successful. So we're hoping to, or I'm hoping to, run 2 this year. So we're looking at July 15th to the 19th. And August 12th to the 16th are the 2 weeks that my team left open and available to run camps free.
August, what is it?
August 12th to 16th. And July 15th to 19th.
And that's $2.25, right? For, is that the one that's $225?
No, it's like
okay.
100, I think. 125
That's the
per resident.
Bonfield summer camp one, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so it's 125 per resident, and then non-residents pay a little bit more.
Right,
It's
how about,
the cheapest camp within. Well, probably 200 kilometers of that.
okay, now how about sponsors? Like I'll sponsor a kid. or-
Yeah, we've had a few people step up as sponsors. I think you can just contact.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
just-
last year was, if, you know,
Yeah, I
They
think I
would-
sponsored one last year
Yeah.
too.
And if
Yeah.
someone couldn't afford it, just contact the office and there are people put their name up for sponsors.
The case always helps out with that.
Yeah, wasn't it 125 for the one and then 225 for both sessions? Isn't that what
Something
we
like
discussed
that.
last time?
Yeah, so it's 125 per resident or 225 per, if you're gonna do both weeks.
That's
You
right,
have
that's
the
where I,
here
yeah,
package there.
yeah, I got it here. And, okay, so we can either sponsor the one or the two. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we're good with that. 6.3 is,
Here's this,
oh,
if you wanna recommend,
yeah.
do the motion,
yeah, sure.
we'll need to, see, like, is everyone okay with those prices?
Yes.
So moved by Renee and second by Lees, that the Recreation Fitness Committee recommends to council that the Bonfield Summer Camp be held July 15th to the 19th and August 12th to the 16th. Pricing for the residents is recommended to be 125 for 1 week or 225 for both weeks. Pricing for non-residents is recommended to be 150 for 1 week or 250 for both weeks. All in favor?
Then that one, if we're going to be offering a discount, to local.
Is that already like the 125 instead of 150?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with running 2 weeks, we can have a hard set 48, we're not taking anymore. Because people would then have the opportunity, and for a second, we did miss a person.
Right.
So moved by Dan, second by Lees, that the Recreation Fitness Committee recommends to council that the Bonfield Summer Camp offer a discount of $25, yeah. For a second child from the same family. All in favor? Carried.
And I had an idea for just like a fun thing to do in Bonfield next summer. Have you ever heard of a rock snake? You know, I think everybody like paints a rock and you add it and it makes like a big snake. of rock. Well, I thought you were gonna be more excited than you are, so I was gonna say,
It's a pretty cool idea.
if your kiddos need something to do for the day, they can paint a rock and come at it to my snake.
Add it to yours.
The snake that I'm starting the head of.
Where's the head going?
I was talking to Andre about it. She says she'll have a better idea once like the parks are more situated. She'll figure out where's the best place for it, but I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah, would be
Something to do.
All right, 6.3 Family Day commitment. So historically, and we can change this, it's been a pretty simple event. On Family Day, we've just met over at the park. We've done some hot chocolate and cookies and snacks and stuff. Kids have skated and we've had the toboggan hill there, and we've had an outdoor campfire, and we've just had some council and committee members there just to kind of greet people. Pretty simple event. Unfortunately, this year I will not be there. And
Yeah, I have other-
Dan will be there. So if we're running that event, and again, pretty easy one, we just need to make sure that we have committee members committed for a chunk of time during the day with like roles and responsibilities.
That's February, right?
February.
Family Day week.
Sometime in February.
The Monday or
The
which,
Monday,
yeah.
the 19th.
yeah, 19th.
Family Day as well. So yeah, February 19th. So I'm not sure if you're involved in that.
I will be involved in the planning, and then I can look at being available.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, I
As
think
long as
last,
it's not 100 below.
yeah, well, you have the building to be and go inside, like we had the hot chocolate set up inside
There,
and
okay, done.
you just have to make, when you run it, like a
Yeah.
little bit
You can just
more.
go on Skype.
Basically, I guess with us not being there, we just need somebody to bring over firewood and light fire and maintain that and make sure that's safe. And
Okay,
hand it out like marshmallows and stuff for the kids.
Oh.
So like Boy Scouts around here. They're like, they'd be all over like, let's make a fire.
Nothing local,
No.
no.
Maybe reach out to though, the auxiliary really seems to like putting on events and stuff.
And if it gets out of hand, maybe they know how
They
to
can
put
put
it
out
out.
the fire.
I love it. Bring it
That
for-
sounds like a real good.
Yeah, I mean, if we need some wood, I can split up some nice pine wood and drop it on ahead of time, so you have
Okay.
some.
We usually just do that right in the parking lot.
Yeah,
They're on top of the snow.
yeah, but it was just, I won't be around, so.
Okay. And 6.4, Easter egg hunt. So last year Renee ran this with a little bit of help from the township.
Yeah, lots
Um,
of help.
so I'll let you take the lead on this one.
So it would be cool to do it again because it was a success, obviously, but I would need to troubleshoot on, it was the first year.
Mhm.
And I had kind of gone in with the mindset of doing different time slots for different ages. That way we can put out some eggs, let like big kids go crazy, ship them
Yeah,
off, put out more for the younger
Running over
kids.
the little kids.
Yeah, and that got vetoed pretty quickly because it's just me to set it up, so we weren't able to do that. And then all of the eggs were gone in 4.5 seconds.
Okay.
So I would definitely have to figure something else out. I tried to like, I put like the older kids there and the younger kids in the skating rink and the oldest kids on the other side, but there was like, if you're showing up with an 8-year-old kid and a 2-year-old kid, you're not gonna let your
You
8-year-old
can't,
take
yeah.
off to do with you know, so I would love to do it again. I plan on doing it again, but I'm definitely gonna have to
Get some
put
help.
some thought into what the best, now that I have an idea of like worst case scenario.
Well, if you have some help, I mean, you can kind of keep the kids in the zone where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it was so freaking fast, and I was also the Easter bunny, so I wasn't, I was not really able to
Yeah, yeah.
be like
So
handling
how many people do you think you would need to help out on that? Like, you know, that
Like,
event?
3. Like if we separated it into like 3 different age
Right.
categories,
Yeah.
just like one
Yeah.
adult per category would be great.
Okay.
But I would really like to try to figure out something better than last year.
I wonder if the older kids, if you had the extra people on manpower, if you created almost like a. Like a
Like a
challenge, like
scavenger hunt.
losing race, like something
Yeah.
to that effect.
Yeah, there
before they
needs to
can
be
move
something.
next
Like a
stations.
scavenger hunt is a good idea, kind of, that they have to go through a series of steps.
Yeah, slow it down a little bit. I'll figure it out. I will put some brain power.
Yeah, and I think if you have help, it's gonna be definitely way easier, for
For
sure.
sure.
You can keep, especially the younger kids, kind of contained in a certain area.
Yeah, luckily we had the younger kids in the rink, but that morning we had a little bit of ice in the rink, so we could only use half of it, which was also like not exactly planned, but it worked out okay considering, and it will continue to work out okay. We just need to keep everybody's shoulders in their sockets and it'll be great.
Did you stagger when the eggs were hidden, or did you put them all out at the beginning?
So they were kind of, there was a lot that was hidden, but there was also there was like a crust of ice all over the ground everywhere.
Mm.
So we couldn't really like put them strategically in a ton of places because it was slippery and there was gonna be people like running everywhere. So we had to kind of keep it in specific places. If the weather's warmer this year, that would be a little bit easier.
No, I'm just wondering because maybe it might be a good idea to like separate, the stash into 3 piles, put like a third out and then wait a little while, put the next batch out, wait a
Yeah.
little while.
That
Just so
was my
that,
intention.
whoever's late or whoever, then at least there's something there.
Yeah, and we did have people showing up as it was done and everybody was leaving too. And it was like, oh, it's like 12:05. Like this started like 5 minutes ago and it was done already.
Yeah, and
right?
again, going back to more volunteers, you'd be able to do stuff like that.
So, yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, different colors.
I thought of everything. Believe me, I tried so hard. It's just when you have 150 young kids who see 100 Easter eggs all over the ground, it's hard to be like, okay, no, you're 9. This is the 8-year-old's place. Like you need to go. Like it's just as soon as I was like, hey everybody, they were like gone. Yeah, and then I was dealing with the shoulder
Complaints,
situation.
yeah.
And as soon as that was done, I like looked around and everybody was leaving, and I was like, I hope you had fun. Okay,
Well, yeah, we'll look into different formats, like
Yeah.
maybe we can look at what other municipalities do
Yeah,
for theirs.
I don't know if anybody really does anything.
Oh.
Not that I've heard of anyways, for Easter egg hunts.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could try and split them up a little further, like if you have some volunteers, we have step out this way and then.
Yeah,
Three.
the only thing is like I said, if a parent has two
Multiple
kids in
kids,
two
yeah.
different age groups, that was like my main issue last year. Cause I had pitched the idea of doing different time slots and I had a lot of people message me like. I have a 12-year-old who would have to be at noon and then a 2-year-old who would have to be at like 1, and that's a long time to sit around and wait and.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that long to the people who are doing it, but it's a long time to wait. I get it, so.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. Got time.
And 6.5, free toboggan program. So Susan Douglas is a member of our community. She contacted me a while ago that she had a bunch of extra toboggans that she wanted to donate. Just to have free use of here, so if kids didn't have their own or didn't want to drag their own from home. To put at the hill, so we graciously accepted them. Added a few from some other community members, so we have quite the collection of toboggans now, so I think we're gonna do a social media post. Explaining that they're there for, use of your own risk and make sure that you supervise your kids, but they'll be just stored in the hut there, so people can. Roll them and use them and put them back. Right.
That's cool.
Speaking of the rink, did we move the equipment off the rink as of yet, or is the skate equipment still?
I'm unsure.
So that needs to be on an agenda for sure.
Okay,
I'm sure Public Works is well aware, but with everything else that they have going on, they may have forgotten about that. Right. So 7, unfinished business. So 7.1, New Year's Eve dance.
People are getting excited about that.
You got tickets on tonight?
We have
we have tickets, I
here.
have more tickets here that I can hand out as well, for the counselors, and then we've got them so far at the Cave, the Quick Way, and.
Tonight, because I've been forgetting to buy.
Oh, yes, I can get you some.
I've been to the bank 3 times. I've seen Steve twice. And I get home, I sit in a chair and I swear at myself.
Gonna be sold out.
I know.
But people can also come in here and purchase them, that we have them here as well, just. Do you wanna let anyone
Once you
know?
get in the house and sat down. You just swear at
Lee's
yourself.
is not leaving here without a ticket.
Have them for you.
All right, so Sandra has created a budget based on last year's event and coming up to this year's. So everything to me looks pretty good. We've added some extra costs, but they offer a more organized and probably better run event. Obviously every year when we run stuff like this, we can kind of look at what we bought last year and what we actually used and kind of adjust. And I think you'll adjust every single year, right? Like I think it's always going to be a little bit different, especially with alcohol trends, because that stuff changes year to year like crazy.
Yeah.
The one thing that we have not discussed yet that I'm just bringing up tonight is I can get a magic mirror from Celebrations for $450. He usually charges $350 an hour with a 4-hour minimum, but that includes a staff member. Holly and I both know how to run his equipment. So he's willing to just do it for $150 an hour for 3 hours, so $450 for the night. Holly and I pick it up the day before, we set it up, we return it the next day. So a magic mirror is like a pretty decent sized mirror, you stand in front of it, it talks to you, takes a picture. So we had one for a wedding this year. This is a sample photo that I pulled out of my car on the way here. So it'll print like as many of those as what we take, so everybody that
The mirror
gets their
prints them.
photo, it prints that out automatic right there
That's
for
cool.
them. But it saves a digital copy that we'll get after the event on a chip.
Cool.
So if there's 1,000 photos, it'll print out 1,000 photos and we'll get all 1,000 photos on a chip.
Okay.
So the value is good, I just don't know if we want to spend the extra money, but it'd be kind of a cool feature that we
That
have
would
not
be
had.
I think
fun.
it's worth it.
That,
Could we get a sponsor for it?
I'm sure we could. We just gotta kind of commit to it one way or the other, maybe even before we have the sponsor. He has 4, but 3 are spoken for. And New Year's obviously is a business. He's running his own New Year's Eve dance, so one of them is at his dance. So if we want to move ahead with this, we just gotta kind of let him know so that he can
Yeah, basically.
hold on much.
50 pictures, but
Yeah, so like there's no limit, like the wedding that we did, I think he had 5,000 photos in it. We use like 2,100. We use quite a few, but
yeah, I mean, when it's
Not
not
gonna-
450, it's not gonna take much to pay. To recover your cost.
You mean charge for the photos?
Well, that's what I thought, are you just gonna do it?
yeah,
for-
we just had it wired.
Okay,
We could put a donation box if people wanted to
That's a good
donate,
idea.
which is fine.
Sure.
yeah,
And a sponsor, I think
Is
that'd
that-
be cool.
Yeah.
The size of picture that you get, or can you,
This is what comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all one.
That's standard.
So he can make the border, whatever we want, different fonts. He can probably add our logo in, whatever, so.
And
And
put Happy
then,
New Year, right?
yeah, and then on the screen, you
On
can
the
take
top,
like
yeah.
a bunch of different
Mhm.
emojis, or you can make writing or handprints or.
Even if
Maybe
you
all
wanted,
that.
I could help set up like a little backdrop to be
Okay.
behind the mirror, so the background of the photos would also be like decorated.
Perfect.
yeah. it's-
So if we wanna move ahead with that,
yes,
I think it's a good.
we
idea.
Yes.
need to, I don't know if we need to create a motion. To send it to council for approval, because it's a. Somewhat decent expense. I don't, like, I think we can approve to send it, but I don't think we can approve entirely, right?
Pay for it.
Right?
So that's right, that's what
You just add it to the budget, right?
Yeah. Unless we get it. By, I don't know,
You'll notice that the counselors have sponsored the door prizes there on your budget.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
is that okay?
yeah, so donation.
Oh, is that what
from
J
council.
council is?
Yeah.
I seen J council, I wasn't sure what that meant,
it's from just the council.
just.
The council.
I'm like, we have a junior council? How come I'm not involved?
Okay, so.
Awesome.
So I have a question that's totally unrelated to this, but kind of related. Back when I was a kid in Bonfield, every Friday they used to alternate movies and game nights at the hall. Does anybody know if that could ever start up again ever?
Sure could, it's the cost of rental of the hall
Yeah,
and somebody to organize and run, right? Like, anything is
and the
possible.
hall is $375.
No,
There's that-
for something like that, I'm sure we could get a different price from the hall,
Because I don't think that they were paying like $400 every Friday, but
no. Like, I'm sure it would be closer to about $100 if
Okay.
you did, you know, your own cleaning and everything like that.
okay. I think it was like $10 per kid.
it was,
Started at like 6:30 or 7.
it was $100 last year for Zumba, which was an hour and change.
Right.
But
The hall was $100,
Yeah, I guess the big thing is you have to feel it out, see if there's. You know, when-
yeah,
just asked starting.
You'd also need it for the length of a movie, which is
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
At least, right?
yeah, that's what it was every Friday. It was 2 hours. And one Friday would be a movie, and then the next Friday they would have games, and then they sold like candy and pop and stuff, and you just dropped off your kids, and some parents sat in the parking lot in their cars and waited, and
Well, there would have been an age limit though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if we wanted to try and run something like that, especially through the winter, I wouldn't recommend it through the summer. You might want to get that golden age club involved.
Yeah.
Because parents could drop their kids off upstairs and
And
then
they
they
could
could
go
go
downstairs.
downstairs and hang out downstairs, right?
ooh, and I saw an event to have like the Golden Age Club. Have you ever heard of a puzzle race?
Yeah,
You heard of a puzzle
I
race?
think the competitive one.
Yeah, where we're at. Have you heard of a puzzle race? You get like 4 people if you show up with like 4 of your friends. And you have a jigsaw puzzle, everybody has matching puzzles and they're all wrapped
yeah,
and, yeah, you just do a puzzle. I think that was fun.
Take
I
me
know.
2 months to do a puzzle. I don't think I'd be any good there.
Are we having popcorn for New Year's as well?
we did last year, Jason borrowed a machine from work.
Sarah might have a machine too, yeah? Does she have one for?
I know there's a cotton candy machine available.
The popcorn works super well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
a
pop-
pretty sticky mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Popcorn is like,
popcorn would be better.
Cotton candy glitter bombs and an alcoholic beverage is very good.
So moved by Renee, second by Lee, Recreation Fitness Committee recommends to council.
Yeah.
That the magic mirror be added to the New Year's Eve event at a cost of $450. All in favor?
Can't put a price on making amendments. Well, you can.
Well, you can, it's the budget. Thank you.
If you could find
Anything else for the New Year's Eve?
It's not
events?
hard to find a spot for just
Does anyone want to go through the budget? Anybody have any recommendations or concerns?
So is everyone okay with the food aspect of it?
pizza?
what pizza?
Yeah.
You, any hard numbers?
So they have not given me a price yet. I've requested it 4 times now. They
Okay.
have committed to it. It's
With
gonna be in the
quick.
store,
Like,
The
Okay.
quick way?
because Raleigh's probably won't be open at that point on years. So I imagine they'll keep it pretty similar to last year. I don't think it'll fluctuate a whole lot, and we can definitely order less. Unless our ticket sales get way out of whack.
I think we need to just be very clear, because on the ticket it says dinner,
Yes,
so it might just say pizza. Maybe we want to change that to.
yeah, because somebody
Pizza.
did ask, right? It was, anyway, he asked, what's for dinner?
Are the tickets all free?
It says dinner.
Pizza and chips and then we've got all the candy.
Yeah,
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
You
Yeah,
can always
and
put it on a sign outside of the hall too, when it starts getting a little closer.
Yeah.
then next year, if we do it again, just right, like have pizza instead of dinner, like.
Well, and, or we had looked into what we did for the cornhole tournament this summer. Pulled pork baked beans idea. It's easy peasy.
it's very
Yeah.
cost effective.
Yeah, it's
You wouldn't
cost-effective.
believe how cost effective it is.
We also talked about,
You get number one winner, the number one guy in the beans.
we also talked about burgers and stuff too.
We
didn't
did,
End up going that. route.
which is labor intensive, right? Everything else, like pizza is not
Yeah.
us, right? Pulled pork, all can be done ahead. Pulled
Yeah.
pork,
Yeah,
baked beans,
pulled pork,
coleslaw,
yeah.
buns, all done ahead.
So.
A lot
I'm,
of cleanup.
I'm fine with anything. There's a couple different avenues to look at. One. If we went with anything other than pizza, we would have to do a lot of the work ourselves. I've even considered asking things like the auxiliary or like the Golden Age, puts on the dinners and stuff like that to assist, but they already struggle with volunteers. The way we're doing it is super simple and it does support a local business.
Yeah.
Yep, no.
Who
absolutely.
has just opened and I'm sure appreciates it.
Do they have like a gluten-free crust, dairy-free cheese option to just like throw one extra in there in case somebody's?
Yeah,
They do have a gluten-free crust. I
Yeah.
don't know about the dairy-free cheese.
That dairy free.
Lactose free, is that?
yeah,
Okay.
there's lactose.
Wow.
Worth asking, because there could be somebody who paid for dinner who won't be able to eat.
Yes,
who won't
and
be
then
having
we can
it.
always have a vegetarian option and a vegan
Yeah,
option.
that's what we did for
Yeah.
the tournament this summer. We had pulled jackfruit instead of pulled pork.
Yeah. We always
Yeah,
have
that's
something,
good.
yeah.
So everybody else is good with everything here? Alright. So 7.2, 2024 events.
So the calendar is coming together. I have reached out to all of the local clubs waiting to hear back about when their events are coming. I'm still waiting to hear back from a few. But
Give them a hard deadline,
yes,
and if they don't respond in that amount of time, they just won't be included in the
As soon as they
calendar.
okay.
Cause we're gonna wait forever for some of these organizations.
What's the hard deadline?
New Year's Day, seems hard enough.
No, I wanted, like, I sent this out last week or so, so like people should have had time to consider it. Let's
It's for this newsletter?
not,
Not
just
time for this
for,
newsletter.
not in time for this newsletter, but for starting in January, I'd like to have that ready for everyone.
So the 15th or the
Let's
20th.
do the 15th.
Yeah.
Then after that, they can submit a request to be added, and then if you have time and can adjust, then you will, and if you don't, you don't.
Okay. Yeah, 2024 events. I have ours listed in here so far. The ones we're responsible for.
We can do that.
Sure. So I think have this out yet. So starting February, we've got, I have to make copies for this one for you guys.
We don't have it.
No. So Family Day, we already discussed. The trade show, we have April 13th. Easter egg hunt, April 6th, we've already discussed that.
Oh, you're moving the trade show to the spring?
Yes,
Did you know that you guys actually had the trade show during Small Business Week?
Yeah.
In October.
yeah.
But we didn't have anybody come to it.
So I suggest that you get organizations like the Business Center in North Bay. We need to contact them and they need to be present. Nico needs to be there, so the Community Futures for entrepreneurs and small businesses, they should be there. And a really good resource is Greg at East Ferris, who is the active officer there. We probably should just kind of tap him. There's lots of resources that we can use for the next trade show.
Yeah, because I mean, there was quite a few companies that showed up, but
Yes.
none of the residents showed up.
Yeah, so we need to market it maybe a little better. I think it's cool that it was during business week though,
Mhm.
right?
It was, we ran into trouble with like, that's prime hunting time for a lot of people. There was another event in the community that couldn't have been predicted that.
And a big wedding season.
And
Yeah.
springtime, people are more anxious to do renovations and stuff, so.
Okay. We still do need to decide on Canada Day, what we're doing music wise for that.
I have a few different quotes. I'm just not ready to present them yet
Okay,
for a band from 3 till 5.
okay. The end of summer, September 1st, but I think we're just waiting to hear back on a lot of these things. The Halloween parade, Christmas in Bonnfield, and then New Year's for next year. Starting to plan it out. And then I've heard back from a couple of the community groups from the Golden Age Club that you guys will be having your soups and knitting, or sorry, your meals,
Starting in March.
starting in March, yeah.
Which
And
I
then
think it's silly, but
the fall fair will be next August 17th to the 18th from the Agricultural Society. So when I get more dates, they will be in there.
So then every time the newsletter comes out, all of the events are going to be in the newsletter. We'll just kind of.
I want to include them in the newsletter.
On the event or
Yeah.
the date of the newsletter, right?
Yeah.
So we'll list them all, even if it's 11 and a half months away, we'll still list it. It'll just be at the bottom.
I would like it to be included, yeah.
Is there any like toy drives or anything like that around this time of year?
Well, we did the one for the food bank with
Okay.
the Christmas in Bonnfield, but
I think the Lions,
the Lions, oh yeah, the Lions has their
Right.
breakfast
Their
Santa
breakfast.
coming up.
and they run the
Telephone.
telethon,
Okay.
and they run a toy drive.
Cause around
Oh, that is a
Halloween,
toy drive included.
around Halloween, I saw people in calendar, they were doing like a costume swap. I thought that was cool, but is that like an event? Like if I wanted to maybe set up a costume swap, do I have to like tell you right now to put it on the agenda?
No, like we can add to it. We just want. Like our date set
Yeah.
for all the popular ones, so that when people are like, oh, I didn't even know that was on.
Yeah, everybody needs at least 4 months for everything.
Right.
Also Facebook, right?
Mhm.
Like all of the community events should be posted on the municipal Facebook
Yeah.
page.
And also an angel tree. Has Bonnfield ever had an angel tree? No,
I'm not familiar with it.
I told the Golden Age about that
Did you?
and well, what
I
did they
know
do
that.
with the ornaments? Well, they're ornaments. They just stay there.
so an angel tree, basically, if you are a family who may be a little less fortunate around this time of year, you can register your children, their age, whatever, and their interests and things that they need. And you just put a little ticket with the information, like anonymously on a tag on a tree,
Mhm.
and somebody can come pick up the tag and go shopping and then drop off the stuff, and then the family can, they're notified your child was picked, we have stuff here for you. Then the parents come and pick it up and then they bring it home, they wrap it and put it under the tree with the rest of their stuff. And then kids get things that they need,
Yeah,
parents
and
get a
then
bit of a break, people get to help out. the
Somebody
community.
is donating
Great.
something that somebody wants. You're not
Yeah,
just
exactly,
in
yeah.
the store wondering what,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so for me, I would say
So
like,
it-
I have a 5-year-old daughter, she wears 7-8 clothes, her special interests are baby dolls and unicorns, she likes pink and purple.
Okay,
And then you just go shopping and
How
buy.
to ensure, we need to ensure that every name is picked.
So if they're, the way that I've seen it be done, if not everybody is picked, they will divvy up the stuff that was collected as a whole. So everybody gets like one or two things at the very minimum. But it would be worth mentioning it anyways, because there's a lot of people who like to help,
Mhm,
and there's a lot of people who could use help.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
got the quick way, there was a form that if you knew of someone who was a need, there was a form that you could fill out and submit. What is that?
Yeah, but that's,
Is
that's,
that the line?
Lions one? Oh,
Okay,
and
so
they'll
they
bring a box of food, like whoever,
in presence, and so they'll do basically the same thing.
just like what North Bay
Yeah,
does in
yeah.
Colexton.
So obviously this isn't gonna be for this year anyhow.
No.
So let's,
No, but
I had never even heard about that, so.
I do like Renee's idea.
so let's put it just in notes.
Yeah.
And maybe you can contact the Lions, so we're not stepping on
So, yeah.
toes and find out exactly what they do gift-wise,
Okay.
as opposed to just through them monetary donations.
Yeah, and then throughout the year, like if anybody ever, like if you know a couponer or something and people are like, I got like 40 toothpaste tubes at home, it's like, well, we could take that at Christmas time because,
My house.
are you a couponer?
Oh,
No,
no.
she's a toothpaste hoarder.
But yeah, I would hate to step on their toes if they're
Yeah.
already running something similar.
Mhm.
I'd rather get involved with them and help
We
them.
could do the
But I
back
did-
to
you know,
school
again,
sort of
If they do stuff like that.
slide thing like
I do
that.
not-
Yeah, that's-
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but I do like that idea.
So there
You
is
know,
a thing
the-
called
the,
Operation Shoebox. Have you heard of Operation Shoebox?
When I was a kid, we did that at in our class, yeah.
And, sorry.
Sorry, Natalie.
It's okay. The North Bay Indigenous Friendship Center does it every year, actually. And so it would be worthwhile to talk to them and ask them how they go about it. Because there's
Sure,
no
I think
use
it's an easy one to run. I
reinventing
just
the,
don't wanna
yeah,
step on another organization in our community's
Totally
toes.
understandable.
If they're already
Absolutely.
running it. And I'm not really sure how they run it. I just know they run something similar.
But they
Yeah.
could even be like, kind of getting burnt out and be like, man, if we just had a little bit of extra help next year, it'd be a lot easier, right?
Well,
And
I
then,
like the tree thing, the cards are up there, what they want is
Mhm.
there. It's easy for the person to just to
That's
go
right.
buy
There's
it.
no guessing,
Right.
just
yeah, that's exactly it. And then you could have like, I don't know if you could have it here, like a place that's not super public, so it's not like, oh, look at me, it's like,
Yeah. Well, we have a tree set up here. So.
yeah, so just add a
yeah,
couple.
and I bet your person would pick a couple names
Oh,
because
sure.
they don't have to go think about what they're getting.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
buy
I
a
mean,
fire
like,
truck and I'll buy a shirt.
Anonymous or confidential, right? Like
You
I
can,
don't-
yeah, so the way
Yeah.
that it's, they just don't put the name on it,
Mhm.
but obviously, like, if
I would
somebody's,
know, yeah.
you would have it like written down.
Maybe the cards are numbered and Cassandra
Yeah.
has the names with the
Yeah.
number.
The master list,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
Operation Shoebox is where you fill a shoebox. We did this with our kids for years too. And they have different age groups and different genders. And so we would take the boxes at the beginning of the year and fill them during the year. And then at the end, you would have a full box so that it wasn't cost prohibitive at, at Christmas time, it was spread out through the year. And so you would fill a box for a 3 to 5 year old, just with fun things that a 3 to 5 year old would like, a
Yeah.
5 to 8 year old.
Yeah, I mean, I like knowing, to me, I
The
like
guessing
know,
game.
no guessing,
Yeah.
this is what they want. I
they
go
give
get
You're
it.
a 2-year-old who likes food, a toy train?
Yeah, these
Easy.
boxes were usually for overseas countries, overseas. So
Yeah.
they were
Or like
sent,
nursing homes, like hygiene products
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah.
so they were sent away to kids.
Yeah,
women's groups also do fill a purse, like it's the same
Yeah.
idea. You
Yeah.
fill a purse for women who have been abused or whatever, and going to those care centers, and you can fill a purse and what with things that they need,
It's
deodorant.
so important and you don't
you
even
know.
really realize, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 7.4, the budget update.
Not the last
think
thing
this is
that
you.
we're ignoring.
Yes, so the budget, I put together what I think we'll have for next year. I am waiting to sit down and go over it with the CEO Nikki before I want to hand out hard numbers to everyone here. Just there could be some things moving around.
there's no, it's not in there.
We don't have it.
No.
No. Okay. Do we we're not looking at it as a committee to try and increase it, decrease it, change it, nothing.
We can, yeah, for sure. Look, I have a copy of mine here.
So I've been on this committee for, I think, 5 years, maybe 6. And I don't believe we've increased our budget request the entire time, but we are running way more events than what we used to.
Okay,
And we seem to be more heavily involved in the community. And we're just trying to stretch our tiny little budget further every year.
I have a suggestion.
okay.
Perhaps the money that we make on fundraising events should go back into recreation, or more of it should go back into recreation as it is.
So I think the only one that we run that makes money is New Year's. I don't think we run anything else that makes everything else cost.
Yeah, everything's,
This was our one opportunity to make money to put back into recreation is New Year's Eve. That's the only thing that. we
So
run
yeah,
as a-
$5 a picture for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay,
I like the idea of the little tip jar.
a donation to
Yeah.
the rec committee
Yeah,
for the picture. If they don't want it, they don't want it, but you know,
I like that idea. for
Or
sure.
you would be surprised if we put, it's a loony picture, right?
Mhm.
Picture for a loony. If we had
People get
2,000
generous over
loonies,
the $5.
right, and you took 2,100 pictures,
Mhm.
right, you'd be surprised that what,
yeah,
for a
well,
buck, right?
Mhm.
For a buck,
Just
that's not
something.
bad, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
Even if you had a list at that little donation jar saying, these are all the events the recreational committee puts on. If you put $1 in here, this is what it's going to. Going to this, this, and this. Cause if people get like kind of weird, it's like, you're saying that we're donating to this, but like, what is that really doing? You know, like if you don't know, it's,
yeah. The money stays in Bondfield for
Yeah.
Bondfield rec.
yeah.
Are you prepared?
And
to
people like knowing that it's
discuss
going
budget?
for,
Not in.
like, if you tell somebody that their money is going towards fixing their roads, you are not gonna get a copy. It's just not gonna happen.
No, but you rec for the, you.
Yeah.
for the-
That's
Because
exactly
like,
it.
we can go through it, but until I know. Some other things.
So we
I don't
would
know.
be out of meeting time to request more before it goes to.
It's-
CAA.
yes. Okay, so do you have? Suggestions for where we can increase it? Or where we would request?
I just know that we're running probably 6 more events than we ever have, especially with splitting Canada Day in the end of the year.
Mhm.
And I know technically that doesn't really change the budget a little bit, but it's still a second event.
Now, what about, I did hear rumblings that maybe Bonneville has too many parades. Do we, you know,
I don't think parades cost us because it's the event, right? So we have a parade at Canada Day, we have a parade at Halloween, we have a parade at the Santa thing. But we're not gonna cancel any of those events. I think we just might change
yeah,
parades. I don't think it's gonna change our budget request. I
Right.
don't think.
right, yeah, because we got nothing invested into.
Right.
But also like, who's rumbling about killing Joy?
So it is, you know, then the attendance was pretty low on the last one, right? And it was said maybe.
Flipping hold.
So what's
So-
our entire budget request for recreation for this year? What are we asking?
Where's
For
the
all
money most
recreation?
needed, do you think?
What's that, sorry?
Where is the money most
Budgeted- we were
needed? I mean,
budgeted
is it
for
summer
150
camp? Is it,
total
you know, like,
recreation,
where do we
22,000.
need most of the
That's-
money?
22 grand, but then it covers park,
includes- Yeah, so that has,
so they're gonna take care of the park, whether or not.
Yeah.
So let's try and get that expensive, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Steve, where do you
Yeah.
think most of the money is going?
Natalie just asked, where,
yeah, I mean, summer camp is profitable.
Yeah, because people are paying. for
Mhm.
Because people are
to go
paying
there.
and we do well with donors and. We
People
we
like it.
donate a lot to that event to
Yeah.
make it.
is that cover,
User
does
friendly?
it cover all the costs?
We
The
make,
user
we
makes
make
money.
money on
Oh,
summer camp.
yeah.
We've made money on that every year we've ever run it.
Such a good thing.
It's not much, but we we don't lose on it.
No,
So it's all the events, but like, if we're continually downgrading the event, cutting costs on the event, buying less for the event to keep our budget the same while everything continues to get more and more expensive, something's gotta give it back.
Everything goes up. So, yeah, do we have, what is our rec budget outside of the park, like the park stuff?
What's our actual physical money?
Okay. So, sorry, I wish. I
We're putting
did these
Cassandra on the
first.
spot
I
here,
know.
for sure, so
So the park
Um,
stuff, that's like the new
That
equipment.
part stuff's not included.
cutting grass, I assume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything gets
Oh,
charged,
Trying to separate out.
Right.
and that should be
Yeah.
kind of separated away
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the rec.
Zero turn lawnmowers and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be separated away from our budget.
Unless we make it a ride on Canada Day.
Yeah, we need to hire a train too for
All
Polar
of our
Express.
major expenses will come from the other programs and all
Right.
the events we're putting on. In here.
So our actual budget is 5,500.
Yes, but then we have.
For a year.
Depending on the. That offset.
It's not more than $8,000.
So should we try and ask instead of 55?
Well, what do you think, like an extra 1,000,
Sure.
1,500?
Something.
Dip your
right?
toe in the water. Let's go
I
for
mean-
6.
No, like, nothing stays. Like,
Yeah.
everything
Realistically
keeps-
speaking, how much money would, like, how much help would an extra $500 do?
Yeah, not a whole lot,
Not a whole lot, so
but
would $1,000 be like a
But you
good?
can't, you have to tie it to something, right? So what we
Mhm.
need to do are, you need actuals.
But Steve
right?
just said, we're running 6 more
Right,
events.
so let's look at the actuals of every event that we ran this year, right? See what what did we actually spend? Do we know the actuals? We know what the budget is.
Well, we cut back on fireworks to make it work in the budget.
Okay, so then don't do that, right? So that's what in your budget for next year, you want to ask all your asks with the price tag that's going for it and start from there. So
Yeah.
this is your wish
Exactly.
list. And then where can you cut or, what's most important?
Yeah.
Also, look for revenue generating things, right?
Yeah.
How can we generate revenue
So also put together a list of local businesses that we're gonna reach out to
to sponsor?
do, the ads in the newsletters going forward.
Mhm.
we've always done that though.
Yeah, but I didn't have like an updated list of businesses.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
hopefully get that.
And I mean, I've proven this proof of concept privately in this township. We don't have to run everything for free either, right? So we can start looking at, out of the 12 events or 15 events that we run, we can start looking at, hey, this is a $5 entrance, this is a $10 entrance.
Yeah.
Like, we can make it super, super cheap, but gives us enough to run a quality event.
And again, when you are asking for that donation, if you make sure to tell them. The money is going into the recreational committee and the recreational committee is in charge of events like this throughout the year.
Right.
So that way people are happy about knowing where their money's going.
So I think at this point, we gotta leave this with Cassandra.
Mhm.
And she can come up with something and
So are we gonna we're charging people for the business market, right? The tables?
Oh, for the
Trade show?
trade show.
For the trade show?
outside of Bonfield, right?
Yeah.
But I thought we
Or-
were doing I thought it was like $25 for in Bonfield and 50 for
Right.
outside or something.
I think we discussed a deposit for
Right,
Bonfield.
Oh.
Fest.
Bonfield
Yes,
was
yes.
25 and then they.
And then we were gonna
back
give
if
it back, so they're not getting it back this year, sorry guys, we need more money for more stuff.
Well, you're
we
advertising your
people to come
company.
in.
I mean, $25 is cheap.
wanna grow it, and I think like the idea of running that was to give
Oh, give them
companies
$15
here a
back.
free event, right?
10,
Yeah,
But
but like you said, we can't keep doing free events, cause
Charge
That-
25, give them back 15.
that event is not gonna cost us an account, like our entire cost for that event is just renting the hall.
that's the
And
thing,
you
most
get-
of the events don't really cost a whole lot to put on.
Okay, even like the soup and chili,
Mhm.
if you would have charged $5, there's an extra 500 people. $500, because there's 100 people, right?
Right.
I mean, $5 is.
That's the thing, if you have one event that's $20 a head, nobody's going, but if you have 5 events that are $5 a head, that's, okay, yeah, I'll go.
I mean, for $5, you're going and you're eating.
And if you do
And then
kids-
there's always a big pot of chilies
Yeah.
to have and next year we were talking about having maybe some garlic bread and stuff to go with
That'd be
it.
nice.
And music and community event.
Yeah.
Right,
And you could always do kids under 5 for free or
Yeah,
like
yeah, for
whatever,
sure.
you know?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I would go kids for.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure, yeah,
Cause we
I
want
mean,
families.
right,
That's exactly it.
but I mean, $5 to come in for that.
Yeah.
For that event,
Exactly.
it's an event, like,
Yeah. And you have to understand that like, things can't happen around here for free all the time, you
Right.
know, like.
But I said exactly that. I sent my friend a message, where can you come and have supper for dinner?
right,
And that's people's mindset. So $5,
Oh, yeah.
$5 is cheap.
yeah, no, but I mean, it still generates $500.
That's
towards the
right.
event.
That's exactly it.
Right. 7.5 municipal alcohol policy. Did anybody send Cassandra
Sorry, Cassandra.
changes, reviews?
I thought we were getting a printout here.
We were supposed to get a letter
I'm
from.
glad we
Margaret.
would have that same.
You guys got an email the very next day after the meeting,
Yeah, I got an
and then
email.
we had a hard date of like 10 days or something.
Yeah.
To send in responses. And I don't believe anybody on this committee did.
Sorry about that.
This is
Deputy
supposed
Mayor
to go
Gordon
back to
said.
council. And we've made 0 changes, so I would at this point, I think the only big one was
The island.
permitted where it could be. So let's try and add the parking lot and the soccer field, keep the island out. Send it back as is, and if council sends it back again, then maybe eventually we'll get some replies on this committee. Cause it's gonna keep coming back until people are happy with it.
Sorry, guys. I'm no good. If somebody sends me something via email and they said like, fill this back out and forward it back to me. Not a clue. I will print it out and drop it off at your door before I can figure out how to forward it back to you.
That's an option. You could do that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
on
as
the
far as I'm concerned, like all of my concerns were addressed. The only thing that I would say is I know that there was talk last month about simplifying the whole thing.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if council wants to simplify it, that's fine. But I'm of the opinion that more information is probably better, because there's always going to be those people who said, oh, I didn't know. And that could be legitimate, or it could be a case of, well, maybe you should have just read the thing. So, I mean, that's my opinion. If whatever council wants to decide on is fine with me, but the concerns that I had previously, I had them last year or so, whenever we started this, and I think we addressed them already. So,
Yeah, I think this is about 80% where people can run events on our property.
Mhm.
And the other 20 just that we're reinventing the wheel and that the legislation's already there.
Yeah.
So let's put it back on council, including
Just.
the parking lot and the soccer field. If it's fenced in properly and meets the standards of the AGO. And we'll omit the island. And we'll leave it at that, and let's see
Okay.
how that goes. I'm looking forward to that meeting. Anything else under correspondence? The only other thing that I could maybe add in is through social media, people were asking about Teach the Kids to Skate program once we get the rink going. We've had a couple volunteers step up to say that they would be willing to help with that. So I guess we can reach out to them about police checks and that kind of stuff. But that's an easy one as well. That wouldn't cost us anything or take up any of our time, volunteer driven. Maybe 2 nights a week for an hour or so.
Love it. But we would need a designated time at the rink, right? It's not a free skate, open skate type of time. This is like the can skate time.
Right. And we'll make that like a helmet mandatory section.
Yeah, you'll have to follow the rules, like,
Can't see.
Can't see.
Yeah.
skate or skating for beginners, whatever it is, helmet.
Anything else under correspondence? All right, so information, anything under information?
So nice of you to join us.
Thank you. I'm not really joining you. I have a meeting at 6:30 here, so wrap it up by 6:30, would you?
Yes.
You're late. We did talk about the municipal policy.
Oh, good.
You got
You're
the,
all under control.
you got the soccer field and the parking lot, but we did nothing else.
Okay.
Okay.
Works.
Nothing other information? And then the next meeting would be January 8th. Is there anything else you need to discuss before January 8th?
That's coming so fast.
Mhm.
And then what's the first event after in the new year?
In the new year, it's gonna be the family day.
Okay.
And then trade show and then Easter egg hunt.
So we're good until January
At 5 again?
at
Yeah, I like 5.
5.
We're all good with 5?
Mhm.
Okay.
No, it's dark at 2.
We'll all do it by Zoom next time.
Yeah, she's not gonna be here on the 8th, hope you guys know.
Hope you're going someplace warm.
You're only allowed to do one Zoom meeting a year.
It's gonna say Lee's resigning.
Oh, we gotta put out
Oh, yeah, we need that party.
thing for another number, right?
Yes.
All right, moved by Lee, second by Renee, that the Recreation Fitness Committee be adjourned at 6:04 p.m.
You guys said I was gonna run.
All in favor? Good. Good.
All right.
Thanks, Napoli.
All right, see you later. Have a good holiday, everybody.
You too. I was gonna say